Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 13. My name's John Cooney. I'm here to talk to you about comics, specifically comics given out on Free Comic Book Day, May 5th, 2012. It's an exciting day for comic fans and retailers, so I'd like to talk to you about some of the titles that were given out today. From DC Comics, we had a new 52 title that finally gave us some information on the Woman in Purple who appeared in so many of the number one issues last September, with a story written by Jeff Johns and drawn by Jim Lee. It's a beautiful book, and it also includes previews of all of the second wave titles, including Batman Incorporated, Dial H, Earth 2, GI Combat, The Ravagers, and World's Finest. Also from DC, we have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's in their Vertigo imprint, and this is a advanced look at the upcoming graphic novel adaptation of the best-selling book. From Marvel today, unfortunately, we saw some familiar work. We saw the Avengers 0.1, which is actually just a reprinting of the 12.1 book from last year, released I believe last April as a paid book, not from Free Comic Book Day last year, but that talks about the Avengers and the Intelligentsia and Sword and the disappearance of Spider-Woman. So this is a retread. We also had Marvel Spider-Man Season 1, which is just the first chapter from the Season 1 graphic novel that's being released. And we also saw Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man from the TV series, which is interesting the way they did it. It's a screen capture comic book adaptation of the premiere episode from the TV series, utilizing the same story and art that you see in the TV show, but presented as a comic book. From Dark Horse, we saw some flip books. We saw a Star Wars Serenity flip book, the Star Wars story featuring Han Solo and Chewbacca. And then when you flip the book over, you've got Serenity, so you get a double dose of your space outlaws with a story featuring Mal Reynolds. Also from Dark Horse, we had a Buffy Guild flip book. So we have, on one side, we've got the Buffy story. Buffy needs a vacation after all the events from Season 8 leading into Season 9, and Spike's got a solution for her. And then when you flip the book over, you've got a Guild story from Felicia Day. Valiant launched its titles this week with XL Manowar. We also, right in time for Free Comic Book Day, have the Valiant 2012 preview book, which lays out some of the things that you can expect from them. It's got Exo Manowar, it's got Harbinger, it's got Bloodshot, it's got some content that you're not going to find anywhere else, previewing what they're laying out for the year as they reintroduce us to these characters, and I'm excited for it. From Top Cow, we had Witchblade, which is taking on a new creative team and taking a new direction, and this is a good opportunity for people who may have lapsed in their reading of Witchblade to jump back in. The Free Comic Book Day edition, fans get a look at this unbalanced Pieces story, and is an introduction to where you can either get in on the trades or jump into Witchblade 156. Probably the best looking book and probably the most sought book today is the Mouse Guard anthology. This is a Free Comic Book Day hardcover, 48-page hardcover book with all new material, including Mouse Guard, Jim Henson's Labyrinth. It's just a beautiful book. It really raises the Free Comic Book Day bar and puts the other publishers to shame. It's a beautiful collection that probably cost a bit to produce. It's the most impressive book that I've seen from Free Comic Book Day in the 10 years, and I'm glad I got my hands on one. One book that I did not get my hands on is Transformers. From IDW, 80.5. This is what they're doing after a 20-year hiatus. IDW is going back to the original Transformers comic book universe and picking up where it left off with Transformers 80. This 80.5 book tells the story from all of our favorite Generation 1 Transformers, from the original writers from the series, and it's going to be the 80.5 is a reflection back on kind of some of the events from the Transformers comics, and leads us into the July premiere of Transformers number 81. Now, some other items from free comic book day that I was happy to get my hands on. I did get one of the Thor HeroClix. Again, this is a figure for the HeroClix gaming system, and it's part of, it ties into the Avengers movie set, but this is the free comic book day Thor figure. Also, I've got a free comic book day tattoo sheet featuring some Jim Lee art for free that was done for free comic book day. I was happy to see that. Just a lot of great fun today with the few shops that I was able to visit in my area. I'm in Sacramento and went to A1 Comics, which is probably the biggest store in the area, and it showed it by having lines that were out the door. Unfortunately, that prevented some people from buying, so they just got the free books and got out. But the other shops I visited and wanted to thank for their participation in Free Comic Book Day were World's Best Comics on Watt Avenue. They had the best use of the Free Comic Book Day as a incentive, where they had 2 free comics per person. Anyone who walked in the door could get free comics, of course, but if you made any purchase, you could get 5 titles. If you made a purchase of over $10, you got 10 titles, any 10 books, and a Thor HeroClix. So that's where I got my books, and that's where I got my HeroClix. And also to the local comic shop, the closest one to me, kind of the new boy on the block, is River City Comics, and who I saw had the deepest discounts of any of the shops that I visited, and so consequently also picked up some of my hard-earned money. So I'm grateful to these shops for participating. I'm grateful for the industry for Free Comic Book Day and how much interest it can bring to the media and to the business, and I can't wait to see what they do next year. So you can always check out what I'm reading, including these free issues, on my comic book blog, he'sgotissues.com. And until next week, or until later this week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.